Joe Biden's Bidenomics has led to the loss of $10,000 of spending power for the average family. When you see 16% inflation, your gas is up 40%, your food is up 20%, your electricity is up 20%. We can stop that by turning the spigot off at Washington, sending the money back to the states.
South Carolina Senator Tim Scott there, one of the many Republican candidates speaking last night at the first Republican presidential debate of the primary season. The candidates largely left an absent Donald Trump untouched at the debate. The 8 contenders instead attacked Joe Biden's economic stewardship. Joining us now, Bloomberg managing editor Derek Wallbank, all over this story. The benefit, I think, of being abroad is you get to see this debate live. Derek, I think going into this debate, the expectation was that Ron DeSantis would kind of be the focal point. That's not exactly how it played out, is it?
No, it's not at all how it played out. In fact, Ron DeSantis said what he wanted to, and then largely got left alone. Instead, all of the fire skipped also reasonably skipped Donald Trump and went to a new guy on the scene, Vivek Ramaswamy. Now, Mr. Ramaswamy is new to the political scene. He's, by his own admission, only voted about twice before in presidential elections, and he's comes out of the business world. He has risen in the polls anyway, and that has proved, let's say, vexatious if you are former Vice President Mike Pence, if you are Nikki Haley, if you are Chris Christie, or any of the others who attacked Mr. Ramaswamy's record there. In fact, a super PAC backing Ron DeSantis is out now with a contrast spot that they whipped up during the debate over one of his gaffes, and all of that attention centered there shows, I think, where some of the threat is, right? Mr. DeSantis's poll results have gone down over the last couple of months. Ramaswamy is on the way up. He's polling sort of tied second, maybe just barely third, depending on how you go. So there was a lot of focus on him. I think he came out actually rather well. He came out saying afterwards he came out better than he thought he was going to. Nikki Haley also had a good night. A lot of people in her line of the polling side will be looking for others to give them a chance. But look, I don't think that this resets the race in any possible way from the absolute largest view of it, which is that you've got Donald Trump, who's running 30, 40 points ahead of absolutely everybody else. And Donald Trump is going to today once again seize the spotlight because he's due in at the Fulton County Jail to be processed through, in that case in Georgia, later today, U.S. time.
So, Derek, you think President Trump, former President Trump, can be pretty relaxed at this point? Is there anyone who stood out? You know, you talked about Vivek standing out in terms of a relatively new face. Is there anyone who is becoming closer to that challenge as the campaign around Ron DeSantis seems to be, at least on some measures, coming off the tracks?
Yeah, I think Haley is somebody, as I say, the former UN ambassador, a former governor of South Carolina, somebody who got some points in, somebody who is going to get people to take another look, right? If you are sitting there saying, I don't want Donald Trump to be the nominee, let's put yourself in a Republican mega donors position right now, and you're looking for another horse to back. Nikki Haley's somebody who comes with a record. She's somebody who has a little bit of distance from Trump, but also served in his administration. She's somebody who maybe gets another look there. I did hear some chatter around that some people want someone else who wasn't on the stage. That seems like a lot of wishful thinking to me. I think DeSantis has plenty of time, if you're looking at it, though, to turn this around. You're talking about a Florida governor, a guy who won an absolute wipeout in what used to be a swing state in his last election, somebody with reasonably unimpeachable conservative credentials. He's got a lot of time. He's got a super PAC that's backing him that's got a fair bit of money. So I wouldn't write him off yet. I'm not going to be one of the people taking him to the political morgue right now. It wasn't a standout debate, but he didn't need to do what some other people needed to do. I will say people like Mike Pence, people like Chris Christie, who have had trouble on the Republican flank, probably not getting that other look again from Republican voters. Maybe some things that they said sounded better to consultants than they did to actual voters.